6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Soundi Thavam. The Vada Samaga Yali Gamata program commences to take development programs to the villages. The Palagoda fish market will be open soon. The COPE committee has ordered the removal of unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 death toll moved past the grim milestone of 100. In world news, Iran's top nuclear scientist assassinated near Tehran. And in sports, the Jaffna Stallions beat the Goal Gladiators in the Lanka Premier League 2020. The Vada Samaga Yali Gamata program has commenced to take development programs productively to villages proposed by the budget through the Gama Samaga Pilisandara program. Accordingly, the series of programs and meetings in connection with the budget at provincial levels will commence on the 14th of next month in the southern province. This was revealed during a discussion in Colombo between the chairman of the Presidential Task Force to Eliminate Poverty and Economic Revival, Basil Rajapaksa, cabinet ministers, state ministers and ministry secretaries. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa said that the budget 2021 is not a budget of a single person, but a result of lengthy discussions with the private and state sectors and community organizations for the country's development and future. He emphasized the need to take the development proposals to the people in their villages as proposed by the budget. He said that there is a need to prepare a streamlined method to bring the needs of the villagers through regional level with the approval of regional development committees to the ministries following documentation. The Presidential Task Force will hold meetings on the 14th to the 19th of next month. Mr. Rajapaksa said that it expects to educate officials, political authorities and the public. Therefore, he instructed officials to prepare a methodology and to present it to the task force without delay. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa said that special attention should be paid to foreign loans and aid. He said that the budget expects to attract foreign direct investment to the country. He added that the tourism industry will be restored by next year, following discussions with the relevant sectors. The Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda says that the Palagoda fish market will be open soon. According to him, retail trade will be stopped completely and the wholesale trade will be maintained at 25% at the beginning. The Ministry of Fisheries has appointed an expert committee to look into the cause of the spread of the COVID epidemic at the Palagoda fish market. The head of the expert committee, Dr. Manoj Piris, said that there were 8 special issues identified during the investigation. He said that the fish market will be opened in collaboration with the Urban Development Authority and a new access road would be constructed. The Parliamentary Committee on Public Enterprise has ordered the removal of unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River as pollution levels in the river are rising. The directions were given to the Environment Ministry and the ministries and institutions when the COPE met on Thursday to discuss matters raised by the Environmental Audit Report on the pollution of the Kalani River. MP S.M. Marika pointed out that many unauthorized buildings are found on both sides of the Kalani River that allegedly pollute the water by discharging sewage into the river. Further, the chairman of the COPE, Professor Charita Herath, revealed that there are 2,946 industries along the Kalani River, out of which 41 industries do not have environmental licenses, and 205 industries have had their licenses suspended for various reasons. Of them, 17 of these are considered high-risk industries, and he emphasized immediate action should be taken about them. It was also revealed that there are several hotels and restaurants along the Kalani River which are unauthorized constructions and without environmental protection licenses. The COPE recommended action to be taken to a particular restaurant which had operated for 18 years near the Kalani River without environmental protection permits. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 death toll moved past the grim milestone of 100 yesterday, following the reports of 8 new deaths. All the victims were identified from the Colombo district and 5 of them have been determined as home deaths. One of the victims, an 87-year-old woman, succumbed to the virus on Monday at her home in Colombo 13. A 54-year-old woman from Dematagoda who had been battling cancer died of COVID-19 pneumonia yesterday. She was transferred to the Homagama Base Hospital from the Apeksha Hospital in Maharagama after being diagnosed with the novel coronavirus. A woman aged 78 also died of a heart attack induced by the COVID-19 infection. Another woman, a 58-year-old from Maligavatta, died of a heart attack caused by COVID-19 infection. A 36-year-old man residing in Colombo 15 died of a heart attack triggered by the novel coronavirus. He was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital after testing positive for the virus and was later transferred to the IDH hospital. Meanwhile, an 83-year-old man infected with COVID-19 died of a heart attack on Thursday while at home in Colombo 2. Another man who was aged 69 passed away on Wednesday at his home located in Colombo 13. In addition, an inmate at the Magazine prison in Colombo has also fallen victim to the virus infection. The 70-year-old had died on Wednesday while receiving treatment at the prison hospital. Thereby, the total death toll due to the virus outbreak in Sri Lanka now stands at 107. The Ratana Sutra chanting organised by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation takes place this evening from the Polgasovita Ambalangoda Sri Sudharma Rama Mahaviharaya. The Ratana Sutra chanting will be broadcast at 6:30 p.m. over the SLBC Sinhala National Service, City FM and regional services. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The government of Switzerland and the International Organization of Migration have extended their assistance to the government of Sri Lanka to expedite the resumption of repatriating migrant workers. The Health Ministry spokesman said that accordingly the IOM has assisted the government in improving the COVID-19 testing facility at the Bandaranaike International Airport. This facility at the point of entry can help the government in bringing back migrants safely as well as in opening the airport for tourists in due course. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Education Ministry has called for feedback from teachers on the extent to which the GCE O-level syllabus has been covered in the classroom for students. Teachers have been requested to provide details on or before 30th November by logging on to the Education Ministry official website info.moe.gov.lk. Teachers are advised to send an email mentioning the name of the teacher, telephone number and the relevant school in the event they are unable to log into the website. That came to in Watchlight, and moving on to a bulletin of world news in the headlines. Iran's top nuclear scientist assassinated near Tehran. Embattled Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko hints he may quit due to calls to resign. And calls in Denmark to dig up millions of dead mink. Iran's most senior nuclear scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh has been assassinated near the capital Tehran, the country's defense ministry has confirmed. Fakhrizadeh died in hospital after an attack in Abzad in Damavan County. Iran's foreign minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has condemned the killing as an act of state terror. Western intelligence agencies believe Fakhrizadeh was behind a covert Iranian nuclear weapons program. Quote, if Iran ever chose to weaponize, Fakhrizadeh would be known as the father of the Iranian bomb, unquote, one Western diplomat told Reuters news agency in 2014. Iran insists its nuclear program is exclusively for peaceful purposes. Belarus's President Alexander Lukashenko has hinted he may be prepared to leave power after months of protests against his disputed re-election in August. Mr. Lukashenko, who has ruled for 26 years, said he supported changing the constitution to considerably weaken the role of any future president. He said he would not be president after this, but gave no timescale. On Thursday, Russia, Mr. Lukashenko's key backer, again urged him to press ahead with reform. That message was delivered by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during his visit to the Belarusian capital, Minsk. Opposition MPs in Denmark have urged the government to dig up millions of mink that were buried in mass graves amid COVID-19 fears. The two burial sites in Jutland are highly controversial. One is near a bathing lake and the other not far from a source of drinking water. The discovery of a mutated form of the virus prompted a cull of nearly 17 million mink, devastating the Danish fur industry, the largest in the EU. The burial decision was judged illegal. Back to the headlines of the world news. Iran's top nuclear scientist assassinated near Tehran. Embattled Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko hints he may quit due to calls to resign. And calls in Denmark to dig up millions of dead mink. That's world news. And moving on to development news. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka says that due to the import restrictions aimed at strengthening the Sri Lankan economy, the country has been able to save $3.3 billion in the first 10 months of this year. The Director General of the Economic Research Department of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. C. Amarasekara, said that the restriction on imports, as well as a reduction in world oil prices, has had a direct impact on this, and that it is a huge boost to the Sri Lankan economy and provides an opportunity to repay loans without any additional pressure. He pointed out that the cost of imports in Sri Lanka had fallen sharply in the first 10 months of this year compared to the same period last year. That's development news, and we move on to sports. After the exciting curtain raiser on Thursday the 26th, the second fixture in the inaugural Lanka Premier League 2020 between the Galle Gladiators and the Jaffna Stallions lived up to the hype as Avishka Fernando guided the Stallions to victory in another high-scoring match. The Galle Gladiators skipper Shahid Afridi was available for selection for the Galle Gladiators, and he won the toss and elected to bat first. Opening the innings for the Gladiators, southpaw Danushka Gunatilaka set the leather on fire with a rapid knock of 38 runs from 30 balls. Hasaranga controlled the middle part of the innings of the Gladiators with his wrist spin as he only conceded 12 runs while picking 2 scalps. The Gladiators were struggling at this point, going at a rate just higher than a run a ball. The veteran reminded the Stallions bowling unit that there is a reason as to why he is called Boom Boom Afridi with a sensational half-century. His 58 off 23 balls included 6 maximums, all against 2 South African pace machines, Duan Olivier and Kyle Abbott. That's sports news, and we look at business news. Recording a year of commanding financial performance in a challenging economic backdrop, Navaloka Hospital PLC posted a revenue of 8.5 billion rupees for the fiscal year 2019-2020. While performance in the first quarter of the year was severely hindered due to the devastating Easter attacks, progress during the final quarter was impacted by the developing global health crisis. That's business news, economic news up next.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We're at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The World Bank's new country director for the Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka, Faris Hadadzavos, completed his first visit to Sri Lanka yesterday. The purpose of his visit was to meet key policymakers and understand the country's development priorities. Based in Kathmandu, Nepal, this was the country director's first visit to Sri Lanka in his new role. Hadadzavos was joined by Chio Kanda, the new country manager for the Maldives and Sri Lanka, based in Colombo. The new World Bank management team paid courtesy calls on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, the cabinet and state ministers, the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, secretaries and senior officials associated with the current World Bank program in Sri Lanka.
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to the weather report. There's a possibility of a low-pressure area developing in the southeast of the Bay of Bengal Sea area during the next 24 hours. It is likely to affect the weather over the island during the next few days. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva, central, northern, north-central and northwestern provinces after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, are likely at some places. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And to conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The Vadasamaga Yali Gamata program commences to take development programs to the villages. The Palagoda fish market will be open soon. The Curb Committee has ordered the removal of unauthorized constructions on both sides of the Kalani River. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 death toll moved past the grim milestone of 100. Iran's top nuclear scientist assassinated near Tehran. And the Jaffna Stallions beat the Gold Gladiators in the Lanka Premier League 2020.